because it's in prayers that we have. But a God-ordered life is sustained by obedience. So, in John chapter 14, I think from verse 21, Jesus said, "He that has my commandments and keep them, he it is that loved me. And he that loves me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him, and I will manifest myself to him." Notice, Jesus did not say, "He that hears my commandments." He said, "He that keeps my commandments." So obedience is the evidence of love. So if you look carefully in verse 23 of John chapter 14, Jesus still says, "If a man loves me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him, and we will make our abode in him. We will build a home with him. We'll build a life with him." So obedience invites intimacy. Obedience invites deeper fellowship. And disobedience distances the heart. Yes. So, you want to be the friend of God. You want the Lord to love you. You must consistently obey God. So, obedience is better than religious activities. And in 1 Samuel chapter 15, from verse 22, a popular scripture, Samuel told Saul, "As the Lord has great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices, as in obeying the voice of the Lord," he said, "Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams." So observe, Saul offered sacrifice but disobeyed God's instruction. So God is not always impressed by your spiritual performance without submission. Now the question is, does God truly own your totality? So many believers today attend services faithfully. They sing passionately. They serve the Lord passionately. You see them do a lot of things passionately. I mean the children teachers, the choristers, the ushers, the protocol. They're doing a lot of things in the house of the Lord. But the question is, are they fully submitted to the Lord? Are they fully submitted to the will of God? Are they fully submitted to the instructions of God? So then, so when God speaks clearly through his words, there is hesitation. Obedience is not emotional excitement. It is a surrender. So you see these same guys. Yes, they are serving diligently in church. They're doing everything that needs to be done. They're doing everything. They love the Lord. They're serving diligently. They're doing everything that needs to be done. But when God speaks clearly, there is a lot of hesitation. They calculate before they try to yield to God. So Obedience is not when everything is favorable to you. Obedience to God is not when everything is favorable to you. Obedience to God is when, with or without a reason to, but because you have heard the voice of the Master. Now figure out what he said in John chapter 14. He said, he that has my commandments and keeps them, that is the person that loves me. Not who is serving in church, not who, no. If you have his commandments and you keep them, do not commit adultery. Do you keep it? Do not do you do it? Do not do you do it? I want you to also understand that we have some levels to obedience. There is a general obedience, and we also have some unique level of obedience across individuals. This is when the Lord can be peculiar to a man. He said, to you, because of the uniqueness of my functionality with you, you shall not do this, you shall not. Now, this is not a general doctrine. This is personal. And I tell you the truth, child of God, the degree at which you obey God will prove the extent at which Jesus can associate with you. Yes. Yeah, that's the truth. Remember what he said in verse 23 of chapter 14. He said, if a man loves me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him. And we, he did not say I. So, meaning Jesus and his Father will come and make their abode with you. You understand? It's a beautiful thing, child of God. I want you to also understand that obedience brings stability. So, God made this clear in Deuteronomy chapter 28, I think from verse 1 to 2. He said, and it shall come to pass, if you shall hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord your God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command you this day, that the Lord your God sets you on high above all nations of the earth. And these blessings shall come on you and overtake you, if you shall hearken unto the voice of the Lord your God. So notice some phrase in this scripture. He said, hearken diligently. So whenever we are talking about obedience, it must be extremely intentional. Extremely intentional. So Jesus reinforces this in, I think, Luke chapter 6 from verse 46. And he said, and why call me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever comes to me and hears my sayings and does them, he said, he is like a man which built his house and dug deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake that house. So Jesus likens a man who has intentionally obeyed his voice to a house that is built on a rock, a house that has its foundation built on a rock. Child of God, I want to encourage you by the mercies of God. Child of God, obey God like never before. So the storm will come, but obedience will have a way of stabilizing somehow.